It's a beautiful late summer day on a cove on the edge of the Delaware River. Good thing there are clouds in the sky. This is a science class, and students are using NASA charts and iPads to identify the clouds.
We think it's the stratus cloud.
Because remember, we were talking about weather forecasting too.
I learned that there are different clouds in the sky. People may think there's only just one, but there's a lot of different ones, and they have all different characteristics about them.
William Allen Middle School 8th graders joined high schoolers from the Burlington County Institute of Technology and students from Drexel University to discuss common interests. They're also collaborating in authentic science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM projects.
When you're in middle school and high school and you have, these adults that have been in their career for a while talking to you, it just feels very distant and far off. But when you have someone that's, just beginning their, college career, or is a senior in high school or in high school, you see how close it really is and how, within reach it is. It's just around the corner, and it's inspiring to, get you to jump in there and get after that kind of work and learn.
Drexel students are preparing to launch a satellite into space late next year. They showed the younger students what they're using to build and launch their CubeSat, literally a cube housing a tiny satellite that will gather environmental and weather data.
The idea is that CubeSat research and CubeSats are being built in various universities around the country. So we're working with Drexel because it's right across the river, and of course the higher end have the more technical skills and can mentor the younger ones, but also they're the ones that have research grants or money to actually fund the CubeSat going into space.
This gathering of middle, high school, and university students is notable because they may be at the beginning of a growing pipeline of future scientists. It's all part of a project called BLUECUBE.
BLUECUBE, the actual acronym is Build, Launch, Utilize, and Educate. So it's essentially using CubeSats, the little satellites, to actually do geosciences and to be the final product of the pipeline that is being created from the grade school to the middle school to the high school up to the college level.
Assistant School Superintendent Kate Burke-Riley helped students record observations on an iPad when an Earth-observing satellite passed overhead.
8, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They took.
Okay.
Here.
She supports early hands-on technology-based science learning. She always liked science, but was in college before she did any hands-on science study.
It didn't really come together until my college experiences, where I saw that there was a match. That's how people did learn, and it wasn't a separate world. So that really spurred my interest into creating these projects that are real-life experiences for students.
I do want a career in science. I am looking into meteorology. I definitely want to go into weather and environmental studies. Basically, that is what I am looking into for a college major.
One middle school student is also considering meteorology, but should ditch the technology to be an old-fashioned weather forecaster.
I'd much rather be able to say that I understand it, clear cut, I'm able to go outside and just tell what the weather's like without having to go and take those screenshots or pictures and use satellites. I want to be able to say that throughout my lifetime I was able to accomplish those goals of understanding weather.
I think the biggest thing here is what we're doing is getting students to work with real-time data. I think that's very essential. So when you look at a science textbook, they're looking at older data, perhaps several years ago, and it's data that might be relative or related to the authors themselves, where they came from, where that part of the country, for example. It might be data related to something that took place in California. But what students have access to in New Jersey is, what's happening in New Jersey. It has more meaning to them because it's happening in their backyard.
The clouds really are like the crystal ball of meteorology.